So picture this. A global superpower rolls out this incredible, futuristic laser cannon that can literally zap drones right out of the sky. I mean, it sounds like something straight out of a movie, right? But here's the twist. What if its very first customer sends it back with a simple, kind of shocking complaint? Yeah, this thing, it doesn't work. Okay, let's get right into it. A little while back, China showed off this seriously powerful new anti-drone laser system. It's called the Sky Shield. And, on paper, it's a total game changer. It's designed to protect against one of the biggest threats in modern warfare.
But this is where the story gets really interesting. Saudi Arabia, the first big customer to buy the system, comes out and pretty much says, hey, in the real world, out here in the desert, the Sky Shield is a dud. So what actually happened? Was this just, a bad unit off the assembly line? Or does this failure point to something way, way bigger? To really get to the bottom of this, we've got to talk about how modern militaries even develop and approve their weapons in the first place. Because, and this is the key, not everyone plays by the same rulebook.
And when you put these two approaches side by side, you see two completely different philosophies at play. On one hand, you've got the standard, super methodical approach that basically demands perfection. A weapon has to prove it works everywhere, from scorching hot deserts to literally freezing mountains before it ever gets near a battlefield. But China's process, well, it's all about one thing: speed.
And this obsession with speed, well, it pulls back the curtain on China's unique, and you could say very risky, strategy for building up its military. It's a strategy that's going to feel really familiar to anyone who's ever bought a new piece of tech.
So here's the deal. It's called minimum threshold induction, and it basically means China's military is putting hardware into service before it's even really finished. As soon as a weapon can do, say, 50 or 60% of what it's supposed to do, it gets mass-produced and shipped out. All the other features? Oh, they're just promised in, future upgrades.
You know what this is like, right? It's like buying a brand new smartphone, but the best camera features are promised in next year's software update. Or it's like paying extra for a self-driving car that can't actually fully drive itself yet. It's the whole release now, patch later model, but they're applying it to these incredibly complex life-or-death military systems.
So what happens when this whole beta test philosophy leaves the perfect controlled labs in China and smacks right into the brutal reality of the Saudi desert? Let's take a look at how the Sky Shield actually handled that 50 degrees Celsius heat. Now, during the sales pitch for the Saudis, held in a nice, controlled environment in China, the weapon was spectacular. I mean, it locked onto a target drone and just zapped it with incredible speed.
And that was the promise. The laser was supposed to lock on, burn right through a drone, and send it spiraling to the ground in just 5 to 6 seconds. In theory, unbelievably effective.
But when the Saudis got the system home and tested it themselves under that blazing desert sun, the performance didn't just dip a little bit. Oh no, it completely fell off a cliff.
The reality, it took 15 to 20 minutes of continuous laser fire just to take down one drone. Think about that. In a real fight, a whole swarm of drones would be long past their target by then. That's not a weapon anymore. That's a liability.
So the technical problem here is something called thermal throttling. Basically, the crazy desert heat was forcing the weapon's cooling system to work so hard just to stop it from melting down. But that cooling system needed so much power that it ended up starving the main event, the laser, drastically cutting its power. The system had to slow itself way down just to survive.
All right, so you might be thinking, was this just politics? Was Saudi Arabia a big U.S. ally just trying to make China look bad? Well, when you look at the details of their complaint, the answer seems to be a pretty clear no.
See, the Saudis were incredibly specific. They said the laser part of the system was a total failure. But, and this is the important part, they actually went out of their way to praise the Chinese-made drone jamming equipment that was built into the very same system. They said it worked perfectly. This wasn't just a blanket, we don't like it. It was precise technical feedback.
And this failure of this one-weapon system out in the desert, it starts to point to a potentially massive systemic issue for China's entire military. It raises this huge question about their super-fast modernization.
And that quote really gets to the absolute heart of the matter. A real battlefield is the ultimate stress test. It's an environment that pushes gear to its absolute breaking point, not just its minimum passing grade. A weapon that isn't built for the absolute worst-case scenario isn't an asset. It's a danger to the very troops who are counting on it to work.
And all of this leaves us with one final and really crucial question. Look, China has built an incredible number of advanced jets, ships, and missiles at a truly breathtaking speed. But if they're all built on this release now, patch later idea, how reliable are they really? Are we looking at a true military superpower? Or are we looking at a prototype army that looks amazing on parade, but might just overheat when the real fighting actually starts?